Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom. Some members of the All Progressives Congress (APC) have announced plans to challenge the decision of the party's National Executive Council to dissolve the National Working Committee in court. 18 members of the party, loyal to suspended National Chairman Adams Oshomole, described the National Executive Committee meeting attended by President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday as illegal. In a statement signed by Hilad Etta, Chairman, former Acting National Chairman and the Acting National Secretary, Waziri Bulama, the aggrieved party members said they were consulting their lawyers and other stakeholders on the legality of the dissolution of the NWC and other decisions taken at the NEC meeting. The National Executive Council of the APC on Thursday dissolved its National Working Committee on the recommendations of President Muhammadu Buhari as a way to resolve the crisis rocking the party. Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed June 29 for judgment in the alleged killing of 3 members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria by officers of the Nigeria police. The deceased were alleged to have been killed by the police during a peaceful protest to demand the release of El Zakzaki, leader of the IMN. The judge also fixed June 30 for hearing in a suit by a member of the group seeking the release of the corpses of some slain IMN members.
We have about 4 matters before Court 9. The matters basically concern enforcement of right to life. What happened is when the followers of Ezazaki came out to protest sometime in July 22nd, 2019, about 6 of their members were killed by the police. So when they were killed, the police now took the corpse to Asokoro Regional Hospital, Asokoro District Hospital, and the National Hospital in Abuja. These corpses were kept in the hospitals. We wrote the police asking them to release the corpses to the family for burials. They refused to release these corpses. So we have to now approach the court, seeking to enforce their rights to life, and also asking the court to direct the hospital and the police to release these corpses to the family for burial. That is exactly the application to move before this court. Though we've started the police on 3 occasions. On all occasions, the police refused to come to court. That's why we had to move the application this afternoon in their absence. The hospital were in court, the representatives. They did not oppose the application of the 3 other persons, which they admit that they are in their custody. All they need is the court to give directive and they will leave these corpses to the family for burial.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Works, has announced that the Kara Bridge Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be closed between Friday, June 26 to Sunday, June 28 for integrity test. The test is coming days after an accident triggered by some heavy-duty vehicles caused an inferno on the bridge on Sunday. A letter addressed to the Lagos State Government and signed by the Deputy Director, Highways, Federal Ministry of Works, K.Y. Ibrahim, solicited the support of the state for the success of the job. According to the letter, the state government were charged to help divert traffic from the route and also get rid of the wreckage of the accident still on the bridge. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, has dismissed reports that the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is divided in its bid to bring about a single currency for the region. The minister, who addressed journalists after a meeting with Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed and President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassi-Brew, in Abuja, said the body would convene a larger meeting of heads of state and government to ensure that all member states are on the same page.
We wanted to get a message across for ECOWAS to convene another meeting, a larger meeting of presidents, so to make sure that all the member states of ECOWAS on the same page very quickly, so that we can dispel that notion that there's a division. So the sooner a meeting can be organized of all the heads of state, then we will be in a better position to dispel this notion that somehow there's this division between the various groups. Because ECOWAS is one.
You know, we had a very, very good meeting, with the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and Planning of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In fact, we discussed the single currency issue, and I think as we have done in the past, we'll continue to work together to move it really forward. I think we've made really very good progress over recent months, and we'll continue to work collectively all together so that we can achieve the objective that our principals are set.
Still to come is our COVID-19 update after this break.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one now? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Delta State has recorded its highest single-day COVID-19 rise following the emergence of 106 positive cases on Thursday. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, confirmed the development in a late-night tweet where it also revealed that a total of 594 fresh cases of the virus were detected in 21 states and the FCT in the last 24 hours. Lagos State recorded the highest number with 159 new cases, while Delta had the second highest with 106 new cases. With this latest figure, Nigeria now has 22,614 COVID-19 cases. Of the number of total infections, 7,822 have been discharged, while 549 deaths have been recorded so far. Former Governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, died from multiple organ failure following complications from coronavirus infection. Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, confirmed this via his verified Twitter handle on Friday. Abayomi revealed that Ajimobi died on Thursday at a private facility in Lagos approved by the state government to offer COVID-19 treatment. He also condoled with the family of the late former governor and the people of Oyo State. The federal government will announce a new date for the resumption of commercial flights next week. Director General, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Musa Nuhu, said this on Thursday during the Presidential Task Force briefing on COVID-19. Nuhu also revealed that airlines have not been authorized to conduct test-run flights yet, adding that simulation flights will be conducted on Saturday. We'll take another break here to bring you business stories and more. The federal government has announced plans to create and save about 5 million jobs from its post-COVID-19 economic recovery plans. In a statement, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Adeniyi Adebayo explained that 1.4 million jobs will be saved, with 40% of them in female-owned MSMEs and 10% in businesses belonging to people with special needs. He said the move is part of his ministry's input in playing a leading role in the federal government's delivery of real sector interventions of its economic sustainability plan in the wake of the global pandemic. Commodity exports from Nigeria to China, India, Spain, Netherlands and South Africa in the first quarter of 2020 hit 1.87 trillion naira. The NVS in its commodity price indices term of trade report said petroleum products stood out as the most exported commodity in the first quarter of this year. Export trade to India was valued at 626.17 billion, while total export from Nigeria to Spain was at 402.9 billion, with crude oil accounting for 360.44 billion, or 89.46%. The value of export from Nigeria to Netherlands was 396.93 billion, while the country's export to South Africa was valued at 319.47 billion. And in sport, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development says plans are ongoing to explore all appropriate avenues to transform sport in the country from mere recreation to profitable economic activity. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dari said this while addressing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja.
Sport is classified as business. It's an economic activity. When you look at global statistics, it is a 1.3 trillion industry. When you look at the United Kingdom, it's a $43 billion industry annually. In America, 41 billion. I can go on and on. Only this country classifies sport as play, or recreation. So we moved early enough in the last 7 months. We have committedly worked to turn sports into an industry. We have signed an MOU with the NESG. We have had interministerial technical committee meetings. Recall, sports as an industry will have to leverage and work with several other industries, more than 11 of them, because sport is a totality. We're at the point in which we are close to delivering, after a review of the National Sports Policy, which is ongoing, we're close to delivering the first ever national sports industry policy. That is a policy that has a business model around sports, that can create jobs for the mass of our youth, that can put value on our athletes from this country, and of course, that can add between 2 to 3% to the national GDP.
And that's the latest from the newsroom. Many thanks for joining us. Bye for now.